Hello everyone and welcome to today's Meet the Fund Manager. So my name's Chris Leyland and I'm Director of Investment Strategy here at True Potential. And I'm delighted to be joined by Mr. David Copsey from Goldman Sachs. So David, maybe just firstly introduce yourself, what is it that you do at Goldman?
Yeah, sure. Hi. As Chris mentioned, my name is David Copsey. I sit on the multi-asset solutions team within Goldman Sachs Asset Management. I've been at Goldman Sachs Asset Management for around 14 years now, and the vast majority of my time has been focused on customizing and delivering solutions for a range of individual investors with partners such as True Potential.
And that really nicely segues into my second question, which is really, could you maybe talk about the relationship that Goldman have had with True Potential? Obviously, it's been a very much a long-standing relationship. If you could just sort of build that out a little bit.
Yeah, sure. So we've spent many years now, as I said, in partnership with True Potential. The focus was on leveraging our global network of investment professionals to deliver on a truly global product, focused on two different types of outcome of solution. The first of which was one orientated towards investors looking for long-term growth of their capital, and the second was one that was more focused on delivering a consistent level of income through different market cycles, to help those that wanted something to be able to help their spending needs on a monthly basis as well.
No, that's really, really helpful. I'm going to ask in some ways, I think everyone who's watching this will have heard of Goldman Sachs, but just maybe give us a little bit of background around Goldman overall, thinking about how much money they run overall. Just try and give people on watching the video just some statistics. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, sure. So obviously people familiar generally with Goldman Sachs as a company, a full service investment bank based around the world. We're within the asset management division of Goldman Sachs, and that means that we are investing on behalf of clients and investing their capital, trying to deliver them the objectives they're looking to achieve. So as a firm, we're one of the largest asset managers around the world. We manage just over $2 trillion in total assets. We have offices in over 40 locations around the world, of which we have a large office presence in London, for which we manage the portfolios. The multi-asset team that I sit on, who are the dedicated team responsible for managing the portfolios, we manage just north of $200 billion in assets, and that goes from everything from large institutional clients, so sovereign wealth funds, charities, pension funds, all the way down to solutions which are orientated towards individual investors. And the main focus for me is how can we take those same institutional asset allocation capabilities and deliver them to clients with much smaller pools of capital, and that's where partnerships like this partnership with True Potential are critical for bringing those two things together.
No, excellent. That's really, really helpful. And I guess, just thinking about Goldman Sachs as a business, what do you really see as the kind of core philosophies? And then maybe, if people are thinking around Goldman Sachs versus sort of other players in the marketplace, what do you think are the real advantages of having Goldman Sachs run money for you?
Sure. So I think one is that scale and that global sourcing network. So I think there's few that have the same presence in as many markets around the world to get real-time information about what's happening. We have over 700 investors across the business, and so that gives us very rich information on the markets we're investing in. And as a result of that, our portfolios do start on a totally global basis. We're not sort of biased towards the UK or any market that we sit in, because we've got that ability to be totally open source. The second thing I would point to is we do think history is a useful guide. So we have a very strong quantitative capability where we're focusing on what can we learn from history, how can we take the lessons from previous market cycles, from previous events, and apply that and an understanding to both in terms of what might happen in the macro conditions, but almost more importantly, how do investors react to things that we've seen historically, because human behavior tends to be one consistent through time. And so doing your research, looking at lessons through history is one thing we very much focus on. The second is we've made a huge investment in our risk systems. We think getting a true understanding of the risk in your portfolios is paramount and probably one of the most important activities we do. So we've developed our own framework for analysing portfolio risk, and then when we're doing allocation decisions, we very much do it through that lens of risk, rather than just focusing on where am I investing my pounds, where is my capital going. And the third is one of, we are an active management. We think that there are opportunities for taking active views. We express that by both having dynamic alternative strategies, which can use more quantitative approaches where human interaction isn't needed as much, but also we have a team of over 25 macro and cross-asset tactical specialists who are constantly analysing equities, fixed income and currency markets, and taking active views on a 1 month to 1 year basis typically to try and capture those fleeting opportunities that sometimes arise.
Okay, no, that's really helpful. So we've learned a little bit around sort of Goldman Sachs, why Goldman overall. We touched on a high level around the strategies, but just maybe digging in a little bit more around that. I guess what would be quite useful for clients and advisors watching, just to really try and understand how these strategies are maybe different to others in the marketplace. You know, what for you are the real benefits of using the income builder strategy and the Goldman Sachs balance strategy?
Yeah, I think in summary, in terms of taking our philosophy, taking our approach, I'd probably boil it down to three sort of key things that we would focus on. The first, and is, maybe an overused term, but the way that we do this we feel is quite differentiated, is diversification, and doing that through that risk lens. The way that we do that is through allocating to asset classes that maybe others don't perhaps do, so using alternatives as an additional source. And that comes back to that point I mentioned earlier, which is, if you're only reliant on equities and fixed income as your source of diversification in challenging periods, as we've seen perhaps this year, that can be quite difficult to navigate. And so having a broad menu set of asset classes you can allocate to, and then having a framework which can analyze the risk that you're being exposed to, we think is critical. So that going beyond equities and bonds in diversification would be number one. Secondly, being dynamic. It's very challenging to call short-term market moves, but doing it with a well-resourced team and having the breadth of inputs that we have, both on external parties, but also being attached to obviously the much larger Goldman Sachs and the inputs from things like our research division, we think gives us the best chance of delivering on those dynamic views and capturing those fleeting opportunities. And then the third would be around constructing something on a customized basis and holistically. So we don't look at each part of the portfolio individually. We've taken the objectives that True Potential have set to us based on your client's preferences, and we really have constructed solutions which focus on exactly those objectives. So you don't find the same portfolio that we're managing for True Potential in other areas, because we have taken all of those considerations, everything from the overall risk profile to return objectives to time horizon into account here. So that customization to what the end investor and what your investment team really wanted is I think a true differentiator here.
David, that was fantastic. That was really, really comprehensive, and hopefully everyone who's been watching this video will have a much better understanding of everything that we're doing here at True Potential and all the good work that Goldman Sachs do for us overall. So with that, thank you very much, and we look forward to continuing with our Meet the Fund Manager series. Thank you.
Subscribing to the True Potential YouTube channel is quick and easy. Simply go to the channel on your desktop or through the YouTube app on your phone and click the subscribe button. You can then press the notification bell symbol if you wish to be notified as and when new videos are released. Doing this is a great way to keep yourself updated with market developments and personal finance insights. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed, and we look forward to continuing to help you do more with your money.